Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. If you haven't had the man that created sundresses smash that subscribe button, go ahead and have him smash it right now. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to the following patrons. Las Vegas Flights Live, go check them out. Shower Shark, holy shit. The Food Port Hostage Negotiator. Shout out to the Plumber AW. Holy shit. The Food Port Hostage Negotiator. Oh, Priya these nuts. Lockdown 5, Crystal Bond, La Reina, Hernan, Winston, Armando, Alejandro, Trailero 760, El Skid, Nathan, Hobie Cat, Lead with Love, Albert 12, AI Vega, Esquiel, Big Bad 48, JT, Nova, Jack, Linda, the retired CEO, Michigan Wolverines, Mikey 559, the homie Marius, Chevelle 66, Abuelita's Irma, Abuelita's Journey, Gigi, and Daus Herrero. If you have not already signed up and made a funny handle, holy shit, you are missing out on an opportunity of a lifetime. We're only growing. Make sure you hit that link in the description below. This episode right here, man, speaking of patrons, you guys made my damn morning. Check it out. I got a message on my Patreon that asked me the other day, and he asked me if I wanted to make a video about this, but excellent topic. He asked me a two-part question. Number one, we all know about the political stuff going on with the Norway project, but would you be willing to go for it if it was actually implemented in good faith? That's number one. Number two is throughout the media, news, movies, and overall American culture, there's always this reoccurring theme of people wanting criminals to pay, essentially to suffer in exchange for the suffering they cause to their victims. This often results in classical prison rape jokes and overall, technically an eye for an eye mentality. Excellent, man. Look, your boy has been on the scene for 10 months. I didn't do a 10-month recap or whatever. But look, I hope by now you guys have gathered my get down the truth, my truth, the truth. Speaking on behalf of those that cannot speak out, truth. I just noticed my light ring is tilted to the side. It's really agitating me. Don't trip. So, this is the fucking truth, man. Of course, anything in good faith, anything done in good faith is a good idea. It's coming from a good place. It's coming from the heart. It's coming with your best intentions. Even if you apply something in good faith and there's mistakes, there's errors, there's accidents, one can look and say, oh, hey, we didn't mean that. Let's correct it, right? And everybody will kind of agree like, oh, okay, fuck it. Like, this person meant no harm. Or there was no ulterior motive for personal gain, agendas, promotions, money, power, etc. Boom, now you know where I'm coming from. The other part of the question was, the consensus is we want to see criminals pay. Yes, okay? Yes and yes, but let me dive in a little further. It's the whole point of this. Dive in. I told him, check this out, man. At one point, early on in my career, I wanted to see them pay. Period. I was young. I was inexperienced. Young, inexperienced. It was a different time back then, which goes on to elaborate further on. I started in 2006. The inmates had no hope back then. Do you know what it's like for somebody to have no hope? At one point, I had no fucking hope, right? Come to think about it, when I wanted the inmates to pay, I was still drinking alcohol, right? I had not gathered sobriety yet. When I got sober, my life changed for the better. Let me tell you, I I had to learn not to hold resentments. I had to learn how to make amends, right? A lot of that was letting go of my past, letting go of that poison I was holding inside of me. So that changed too. That was a factor. All right. Back then, when the inmates had no hope, I don't know how to tell you, but if you put convicted felons in a prison with no hope, you're going to get exactly that. Fucking violence, out of control violence. California became very, 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 very good, the peace officers, at quelling violence, right? We're very good at quelling violence. Large magnitude riots, small riots, attempted murders. When they laws changed, they started releasing lifers. I saw the hope. I saw the glit. I saw the change, right? Now, here's something that you guys don't know. I have to put you up on game what you guys don't know because you guys are not seeing this part. Check this out, man. Do you guys realize how many conversations I've had in person with formerly incarcerated people? Keeping it real. The other day, I was with my daughter at Starbucks, and she was eating her cake pop and her Cheetos for breakfast, and I seen a dude walking. Swear, the dude looked like King Little G. Looked exactly like him. The dude was blasted right here. Right? Boom. I look at him, he looks at me. That's the thing about like lions out in the wild. We be seeing each other before we be seeing each other, right? I look at him, he looks at me. He does like a little smirk and he points. And I do a little this, like, hey, what's up? And he's like kind of like either gave me a thumbs up or like, I recognize you or I like your podcast. And I said, hey, come here. So the dude comes over. I said, like one of the fucking first questions out of the top of my mouth was, hey, how long were you down for? This dude said like 28 years. I swear this dude said 28 years. He looked younger, like probably a little older than me. There's no doubt this dude did 28 years, right? When he said he didn't skip a beat, and he's like, yeah, I did most of my time, you know. He said which prison? Again, there's no doubt that the dude was active as fuck, and I'm not going to say still is because he's not in that lifestyle anymore, but there's no doubt that the motherfucker paroled from GP, a fucking very important place, right? And he's like, hey, a good podcast I listened to. I said, hey, man, good. Hey, you know, good to see you out, dude. Like, fucking, hey, keep doing your thing, man. It's better out here, huh? He's like, oh, yeah, for sure. He's like, I'm loving this freedom. I'm like, that's what's up, dude. Fucking part ways. Boom. Yesterday, you guys don't be knowing this either. Somebody wanted to meet up to me locally, right? Local in town. We meet up. Boom, we get to talking. Like, how long were you down for? So that's the terminology, right? You ask somebody, how long were you down? How long you been down? How many terms have you had? Well, how long you been down is how many years have you been incarcerated, number one. How many terms? How many times have you been to prison? Oh, this is my third time, but it's my second CDC number, right? 'Cause sometimes they keep recycling the CDC number. This dude says 24 years. I'm like, fuck, right? 24 years. All of these were around the 1993 era, the three strikes laws. Well, I'll tell you what this channel is not. It's not a fucking political channel. Your boy don't get down with politics. I'm not a politician. I don't like it. I'm a fucking soldier in the trenches, period. Maybe not so much now. Fuck it now. Because look who I'm speaking with. I'm speaking at dudes on my level, right? At the bottom. For the masses. Well, Hector, what does the bottom mean? Well, it means not living in a mansion in Sacramento or San Francisco. That's for damn sure, right? So this dude tells me, I saw your video this morning about the monsters. I said, oh, yeah, bro, it's all bad. And he's like, look, man, he's like, I'm grateful. He's like, I'm grateful that they let lifers out because I was a lifer. They let me out. I'm grateful for that. But they let a lot of dudes out that shouldn't be out. He's like, they continue to let a lot of dudes out that shouldn't be out. Listen to what a guy that got out told me, right? But I already knew this. They already knew this. We're just speaking it out to the masses. They let a lot of dudes out that shouldn't have been out. Remember that. Period. Point blank. This is what I told them. I said, I agree, man. I said, remember when they weren't letting lifers out? You guys, like, there was no hope? And he's like, yeah, there was no hope, man. There was no hope. I said, what was that like? Right? Because I like getting into the mindset. He's like, oh man, I had already came to terms that this was gonna be my last spot, you know? And I'm like, oof, that's rough, man. And we got to talking about how like freedom is good, man. And where I can relate is being in the military, being in Iraq for 13 months and having the luxuries taken away, right? Sleeping on the floor on the fucking floor, sleeping on a rooftop while we're pulling Overwatch, sleeping in the wood line, sleeping in the mud, literally, sleeping in a Humvee like this with your neck fucking crooked. I said, hey, man, I'm happy with just a fucking, like a bed, dude, with like a couch to crash on. He starts laughing like, yeah, for sure. We're happy with the littlest things. And I tell him, hey, what's up with these civilians? They're crazy, huh? Like, disrespectful? He's like, yeah, man, I got to check myself sometimes. Okay, kind of went off on a sidetrack. The whole point I'm trying to make is that at one point, yeah, I did. The majority of our partners wanted to see these inmates pay for whatever that's worth, thinking they were beneath us. Hey, come here, you piece of shit. Come here, right? And maybe that's where a lot of these OG YouTubers that are on YouTube speak from. They speak from that position, right? Imagine being in high desert. I never went there, but I can only imagine they treated you like complete shit and shot you with a Mini 14. Oh, fuck. Tehachapi. Nobody even talks about that place because it's so crazy. Right? But what I saw was the implementation of a non-designated, of a Norway project, all wrong. All wrong. So if there's a right way to do things, probably, there's definitely a wrong way to do things. For sure. Not in good faith. I guess that's all I'm trying to say is that you even ask my partners, and when I say my partners, I'm only talking about the solid select few. They'll agree. Rehabilitation is needed for sure because we've seen that change. I've seen individuals change. I've fucking seen it. Look at them right now. Look at the ones on YouTube. Well, except for my boy over there in Arizona popping them things allegedly, but shout out to him. But the majority have changed, right? They're not partaking in that type of fucking nefarious activity, man. Period. I don't give a fuck. And if you want to be a goody two-shoes or think you're a goody two-shoes on the law-abiding citizen part, come on, man. I know for a fact you ain't walking a straight line, right? Whether you're cheating on your spouse, whether you're fucking cheating on your taxes. Don't be thinking I don't be knowing where you guys be going in San Diego to get your taxes done, right? So stop thinking you're high and mighty, right? That mentality is not going to work. And only if the higher-ups would have listened to reason. This decision for me to walk away from the California Department of Corrections didn't happen overnight. It did not happen overnight. I didn't wake up one morning and just like, this sucks, I'm out. This happened after numerous, more than 100 times, attempts to get their attention and say, hey, slow down, stop. What you guys are doing is wrong, stop. And I got put under investigation 3 times for insubordination, which I don't care. I was not insubordinate. I know what insubordination is. And all those other little games that they play, which is fine, whatever. I had to kind of sacrifice myself to tell the truth, which is fucking fine too. Like, at least my daughter can look. One day she'll look back and be like, damn, my dad was so damn fucking wild. Motherfucker literally quit his damn job to prove a point. Prove a point. Here we go. What's up to the homie Bart, right? That's all I'm trying to say, man. So the message for today is, every time you point your finger at somebody, you got three fingers pointing back at you, right? I think we can agree. We can agree on a few things, right? If a person commits a crime, they will go to the court. They will stand in front of a judge. They will stand in front of a jury of their fucking peers, right? They will reach a verdict. Then they will go sent away to get incarcerated and do their time. Period. Right? On the flip side, you sign up to be a good little correctional peace officer. You raise your right hand. Your job is to make sure they don't jump over the fucking fence, slap you around, adjust your neck, stab each other, stab you. Period. And then they get out, right? And they come right back to society. I was fucking fortunate enough to carry myself like a man in there and out there. And now, like, it has not let me down, right? It has not failed me, right? Am I perfect? No, I'm not fucking perfect. With that, keep pushing forward.